Hey, there's a lot of bees in here.
Oh.
Hey!
Oh, hi, Chiquis.
Hi. How are you guys? Did you just kill a little bee?
No. He's
no,
fine.
he's okay.
Okay, good. Well, can I join your club?
Oh my gosh. Well,
what's the password?
Yeah, what's the password?
I need a password? Hello, it's me.
Yeah, you're right. Good enough.
You're
Good
right.
enough.
Okay,
She's pop star.
great.
Get in here. My name is Curly,
And I'm Maya.
and welcome to the
Super Secret Bestie Club podcast. A super secret club where we talk about super secret things.
Yeah, like secrets that are super.
That's what it is.
In each episode, we'll talk about love, friendship, heartbreaks, men, and of course, our favorite secrets. Get in here!
Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm like very nervous and excited
I
at
know,
the
me
same
too,
time.
low-key. Like fangirling
Fangirling?
really hard. So, okay, we've been
Fangirling, I love
preparing
it.
for this day for a long time. And then
Aw.
as I put my head on the pillow last night, I was like, and I went, Chiquis is coming tomorrow. Like full panic. And I was like, just chill. But we are excited that you're here to see us. It means the world that you would come and hang.
Thank you guys for inviting me. I'm excited. I'm loving being part of the club. Hopefully it won't be the first or the last.
Oh my God, don't play with
Yes.
us.
I
We just put
mean-
your poster up in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right in the middle.
like,
I'm
what do you
like,
think
hey.
about
It's
this,
the Chiquis Super Bestie Club now.
yes. So we always ask, how's your spirit?
My spirit today, because it changes every day. Today it is bright. I feel very good. I woke up very early. I didn't want to get out of bed though.
Same.
And I got my workout in and I feel really good. I
love
feel
that.
it's nice. I think if I had it like in a color, I'd probably say it's yellow today. My
Oh, I
spirit
love
is yellow.
that.
Yes.
Sunny and bright.
Yes, that's how I
Absolutely.
feel. I'm having a really good day. Thank the Lord.
Where'd you work out today?
You mean like a body part?
Yeah, body part.
Oh, okay. I did legs.
Ooh, leg day.
Is that
Is
true
it
that girls-
powerful?
I feel like girls like leg day. I
like
heard.
leg
Is that
day.
true?
Yes. I used to do leg day once a week because it's tough. Now with the trainer that I have, he's making me do leg day 3 times a week. I do legs like every time I see him, I'm doing something with my legs. I got some big ones, so I
heard
have
that,
to
like,
bring them
girls
down.
like
I gotta
legs.
shrink them.
I skip
Right.
leg day, but I have really juicy legs, but I don't have a culo. So that's
You don't?
I mean, I have like
gotta
Spoiler
check.
alert.
somebody once said that I had an extended back with a hole on it.
Who said that?
You're lying. Little
A hater.
a hater.
A
Yes.
hater.
It was me.
Those
But we just saw that you just got married.
Congratulations.
That's amazing.
I got
Congratulations.
married. Yeah.
How long ago was the wedding now?
It was, oh my gosh, a month ago.
Wow.
Yes,
Month-iversary.
a month ago.
Was it a lot to plan? Like, was it crazy?
You know what? I was in the middle of like starting the tour and finishing my album and promoting it all that I just knew I would have eloped. I would have been like, hey, let's just go to Vegas. And that's how the whole Vegas thing happened because we got married in Vegas. Because I said, let's just get married. Like, let's just fly over there and just get it done. I just want to
Yeah.
marry you. But this is his first wedding. It was his first wedding. So,
I love
and
that.
hopefully his last.
Yes.
And his only
I
wife
love
ever.
it so much.
Yeah. So I was like, he's like, no, I want to give you a nice wedding. Like I want a wedding. I'm like, okay. So I just left it in his hands. I said, look, you deal with everything. I'm not a bridezilla. He was more of a groomzilla, to be honest. He wanted things a certain way. I'm like, I just want it to be simple, clean, and that's it. And he took care of everything.
What's his
Actually, my
sign?
assistant
Yeah, I was
too.
going to
She
ask,
Yeah.
what's a sign?
He is a Gemini.
Oh, well, Cancers and Geminis are good together.
Really? I
Yes.
didn't know. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure.
Where there's
They're really
a Cancer,
good
there's
together.
a Gemini sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I used to have like this, I didn't really know much about Geminis. All I heard before was like, oh, they're two-faced and all this stuff, but
Right.
that's not true.
Yeah,
that's
it's
not true at all.
No, they're
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
they're
they
just
are.
multifaceted, and I feel like to me, I feel like Geminis are like where I see the quote two-face is like with our best friend Joyce, who like if you're on the phone with Joyce, she gets really deep and emotional, and then you take her to a party and she's more like, what? Like loud.
They're
and you're like,
multidimensional
what?
Yes.
Who
and
is
they
that?
change their opinion a lot. And I feel like people don't like that, that they don't have like the same opinion like all the time. But I like
Right.
that because they're able to transition into all these different like things. And
I feel like he's pretty stable. Someone just told me that they get bored quickly. Is that true? I was
know,
like, that kind of worried me.
dating Gemini men, I'm like, we're talking for a week and then I don't hear from them ever again. And I'm like, oh, okay, so they left. They're gone.
Okay,
They're
that's
big ghosters.
How did you
But I'm
know?
also an Aries, so I don't know if they were like scared of my fire or something. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Yeah. Okay. I was wondering. They just literally told me that like a couple days ago. But anyway.
How did you guys meet each other?
Huh?
How did you guys meet each other?
Well, we have a common friend.
Oh, nice.
And her name is Becky G.
Oh, wow.
We love
Singing
Becky
in the
G.
shower.
Yes, singing in the shower.
Yes.
Yeah, we
One
met
time,
through because of
Becky
her.
came to a thing that we did, and we played Loteria with her, and she said, "Estamos winning," and for like 6 years straight, we were just like, "Estamos winning, estamos winning, estamos winning."
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So like, that's amazing, Becky G.
Yes. Becky and Emilio is my husband's name. They grew up together. They're like cousins. So, and then I met Becky through the industry, through social media, and we just became friends, her and I. And we did a song named Jolene, which I'm sure you guys know.
Yes.
I did the Spanish version, Jolene by Dolly Parton. I love that song. So anyways, we did a song together, and it was during COVID. And she was I think we all were very scared, and she has Lyme disease. So we had to be very, very careful. So she said, hey, I'm going to feel comfortable if we use my photographer. He already got tested and I trust him and, to go to your home. So that's how I met him. And I was going through a separation at that time. So I had no business like talking to anyone, but I just remember his face. I was like, dude, like I told him that day. I was like, you have very nice eyeballs. And he just looked at me.
That's a great compliment.
I was like, you have very beautiful eyeballs.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a good one. I'm going to use that one.
I like your eyeballs.
Eyeballs.
Exactly.
That's
I was
right.
like, your eyeballs are very nice.
What made his eyeballs better than most?
He has hazel eyes, but he has this thing like that is beautiful, but it also worries me because he tiene como una mirada, like he looks at you very deep. I don't know. And he was like, he had to look at me because I had to do all these weird movements. And they were the weirdest thing because it was an animated video. So I had to do weird positions. So he was just like staring at me. I was like, oh my God, he has very pretty eyes. So I told him. And I was going through separation, but I was like, okay, I'm not emotionally available.
Yeah.
So I just left it at that. And he followed me and I didn't follow him back. So then he unfollowed me. This whole thing. I never even realized he had followed me.
What? Petty.
Yes.
Petty.
Yeah, he's like, I unfollowed you because then I realized.
He was like, she complimented my eyeballs.
Yeah, he's like, I thought we were feeling each other.
Yeah.
He unfollowed. That is
He was probably
so
like, so what are we now? You complimented my eyeballs.
Yeah.
So
So what
getting
are we?
married or what?
And that's what he told me basically. He's like, you were like kind of like we were feeling each other, and then towards the end of the day, you were like whatever. And I'm like, well, because I remembered, I'm like, I am going through a situation. So, anyways, that happened, and then fast forward to like 8 months later, we threw Becky a party at my house, a surprise party, and he was an invite. So then that's where it was like out of the movies. We saw each other again. I'm like, oh my gosh, the guy with the nice eyeballs,
Yeah.
And then we just started flirting, and then I pulled another one and I said, hey, can I poke? Because he has really nice dimples. I said, can I poke your dimples? And he's like, you can do whatever you want.
You're a flirt, girl.
I know what I want.
Girl.
I was like, I'm at this age where I was like, if I want it, I'm gonna get it.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
I was like,
Okay.
But also, like, can I poke your dimples? Like, that's
I was
a good
already
one.
buzzing in my defense.
Hey,
I
can I
was
poke
buzzing.
your dimples?
I would be like, sure. What else do you want to poke? With what? And what else?
I was like, ooh, when he answered me that way, I was like, oh, okay.
Wow.
And then he went in for a kiss, and that's the story.
Wait, he went in for the kiss first?
He did. I was going to like another part of the house and he followed me. He says, I knew that was a big risk because I don't know if you were going to slap me, but I was like, kind of wanted him to follow me.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he just rushed me, gave me a kiss, and we kissed for like an hour.
Okay, wait. I love this because rushing is very 2005, 2006. I love that.
Yeah.
I love being rushed. But now I feel like it's like, can I kiss you? And I'm like, don't fucking kiss. Don't ask to kiss
Don't
me.
ask me.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah. And
Handle me.
Handle me.
Wow.
Yes.
With consent.
Listen.
Yes. Exactly. With consent. Exactly.
This is so. Not only did we bring you on as a guest because you're amazing, but like we're both single, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously, you're an excellent flirter. You are married. You
Yeah.
got it going
You're
on,
poking
girl.
dimples out here.
Yeah,
complimenting
poking
balls.
dimples. Eyeballs.
Eyeballs.
Yes, the eyeballs.
We just have some like questions. We need
Okay.
some advice.
I got you.
Chiquis,
I will give you the
okay?
best advice that I can possibly give you.
We
Yeah.
we wrote down a lot.
I feel
Okay.
like you kind of already led into
Shoot.
the first one. Right?
Yes.
I feel like you were talking about that you were getting out of a separation.
Yes.
And maybe not necessarily ready for the next relationship. But somehow here the universe opens up for you. Like, how do you get over something like that? Like, how do you get over the heartbreak and stay open?
Oh my gosh. That was, I think, one of the worst experiences of my life. getting married and then knowing I probably shouldn't marry this person. It's like, don't ignore that gut feeling, guys. And I did it for the sake of, okay, well, the wedding's already planned. The world knows, like, how am I going to do this? And anyways, it was, I think, the most devastating thing for me. I just gave myself time. And I'm lying because I did jump. I tried to do that whole, like, you know, that Spanish saying that un clavo saca otro clavo. Un clavo saca otro clavo. And I tried that and it just slapped me in the face. And I was like, it shook me. I said, you know what? I need to give myself time to heal. I need to embrace this pain instead of trying to just like, oh, let me just, you know, brush it under the rug and find someone else. And I did that so much in my life. I didn't really know how to be alone until I said, I have to fall in love with myself. What am I doing to attract these same type of men? I need to fix myself.
Wow.
Instead of being you, I went here.
Yeah.
And I said, oh shit, I got to do something about this.
That's growth. That's literally like a signs of a good person. If you're in that place in your life where you're just like trying to just get under, what is it in English? They say to get over a man, you got to get under another one.
Yes.
Like if you're there, like, but if you're where you were at, that to me is like, oh, that's a sign of growth. That is somebody who is like spiritually growing, mentally growing, and being like.
And it's hard to look at yourself and be like, girl, we got some stuff to work on. Like, it is so hard to like turn the flashlight on you and kind of look at your shadow self and your shadow side.
Absolutely.
And be like, I'm also responsible for like the toxicity that this person had, because we're all mirrors of each other, you know? So
and it took me that relationship to see that. Where it was like, he did things and he wasn't the best, but also I did things to trigger it, or I was insecure and I was a little controlling because I was insecure. And then I'm like, I don't want to live that type of relationship, because he felt I was maybe, in a way, choking him, or he's like, you're not allowing me to be myself. So it would make him want to rebel more. So I'm like, I can't be that type of girlfriend, because it was fear of abandonment.
Absolutely.
And that was tough.
And like a little bit of like anxious attachment style too. Like I feel like codependency, people bring out those sides of you. Like you bring out these sides that are just like, ooh.
Well, they say like one of the things that they say when you go on your first date, like they call it the post-date 8. Right. And one of the questions is like, what did you feel when you're around that person? And what side of you do they bring out? Because that side never leaves. So are you more anxious? Are you more like, do you become the paternal figure? Do you become a little bit of a child? Like, and then you have to decide, is that where you want to stay? Is that where you want to like live in the relationship?
Absolutely. Yes. And that's where with this relationship, I saw the difference, because I was being more maternal I was being motherly, and he felt smothered and he felt that way. And now it's like, no, we're two individuals coming together. You are responsible for your feelings. I'm responsible for my own. And we both have to do our work individually so that we're stronger for each other. It took me so freaking long.
Accountability,
you guys.
Well, it's like also like the other person to have that knowledge of accountability too. Not just like, sometimes I feel like the way I've dated is so like, I have all this knowledge, like big brain energy of like accountability and knowing like what is mine and and then the other person doesn't know that at all and has zero awareness of how they're coming off. Like, so you feel like now both sides are equal, and now it's just easier. Do you feel like you can breathe easier?
I feel like I can breathe. I don't feel anxious. I don't feel depressed. I started losing a lot of weight after I let that relationship go, like physically, because I think just all that stress and it released a lot of cortisol, and I was just like, I don't know. And I thank the universe and I thank God for that experience, because it prepared me for this. I don't regret it. You know, but I did have to look within and say, what am I going to change? I don't want to go through this again. I don't want to have relationship after relationship. I want to have something stable. I want emotional stability. So that's what I did. And I just did a lot more therapy, and I spent times alone, and I cried a lot. I cried so much by myself, my dog and I I just went through it. I endured the damn pain. I endured it.
What would you say to somebody who is like kind of at that place in their life. I don't know if you remember, if you ever read or watched the movie with Julia Roberts, Eat, Pray, Love.
Yes.
But in the book, she was talking about how she would wake up in the middle of the night, married to her first husband, and go into the bathroom and just sob on the bathroom floor.
That was me.
Just cry. And she's like, I didn't know what my next move was. Like, what would you say to somebody who was doing that? Like going into the bathroom or just having those moments being like, I don't know what my next move should be.
First of all, don't ignore that feeling. That is your spirit. That is your gut. Again, that gut feeling, which is like that intuition that we all have, you know, don't ignore it. There is something off. There is something off, and you need to figure out where that comes from and why. If you're feeling like that, that is anxiety. Those are not good feelings that are going to allow the relationship to flourish. I'm not saying that that's not the person for you. What I'm saying is more of like, if it's therapy, do it together. You have to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I ignored it for so long, and I thought, okay, I'm just gonna, because I'm very terca. I'm like, I'm gonna make this work because I want to make it work. It's like, no, there's no reason why I'm laying in bed right next to you and I'm crying and I just feel so alone, but you're right next to me.
Yeah.
You know, and you have to address it. You have to.
And I feel like as women too, we will take on that maternal side sometimes and feel completely responsible to fix it.
Yes.
And like, what do you say about like the misogyny of it all, of like you being responsible for, like, how do you kind of like, when you want to move on from someone or break up from someone, how do you kind of like clear your mind of that? Clear your mind
of the, sorry.
Like the past?
Yeah,
like,
just like, how do you like not, I guess I'm like, there's so much I want to say.
Like, how do you like clear the slate?
How do you clear the slate? How do you like, because I feel like as women, as like, you know, you got married, you brought all your family into it, and your family has a relationship with this person. And I feel like it's always up to us to be like, sorry, everyone, like this is happening. Like, how do you just focus on yourself?
Yeah.
And like kind of silence the noise and just like what do you say to yourself?
I was very afraid of that. I was afraid of, because it was a very public relationship, and I didn't know what my next move was. I just said, I'm a risk taker. I depend on God, and I leave my life in his hands. And I just took a leap of faith. I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. I know this is going to hurt so much, because I let him go being in love. I thought I was, because now that I know what love is really, it's so different, but I was in love. I was, I think, infatuated, to be honest. So I think what I had to do was I had to zone everything out and everyone. I could not care about what the world was going to say. I was like, I am not happy. I am not at peace. I am also not, I have to let him go and be who he's meant to be, because he's not the person for me. Because if he was, it doesn't have to be this hard.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be this painful. And I did, like, one of my uncles wasn't okay with it. He's like, you're going to get divorced. Like, you shouldn't. Like, you need to be there for him if he has this addiction or whatever. I'm like, no.
Yeah, because we're
see, that's
not my responsibility.
That's what I'm saying is like, there's a lot of misogyny around that. Is that like, why does the woman have to be in control of like fixing this person's, you know, issue with addiction or something? That's a lot to carry.
It's very Latina. I
It's
feel
too
like,
much.
you know, you see it in our family where like the women stick around with the husbands no matter what, you know, like.
And that's what I saw. That's exactly what you're saying is I'm like, wait, I've seen it with my grandmother. I see it with some of my aunts. I saw it even with my mom, where I'm like, no, this is not right. And I need to just have the courage to let it go. And that's, I think, where a lot of the issue started with this particular uncle, was because I decided to divorce him and leave him. It's like, how dare you? Like, oh, you're just going to give up? It hasn't even been a year. I was like, yeah, this dude, you have no idea what he's doing, though.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't have, no.
Like, you're not married to him. You're literally not in the relationship.
You're not in the relationship. And it's not my responsibility. It's now I know I have to carry my own weight and take accountability and be responsible for my own feelings and actions. And so does he.
Absolutely.
And if he doesn't want to change, I can't force it. And I thought I could change him. That was the problem.
Theo, you date him then.
Yeah,
you like him so much.
Exactly.
You hang out with him, Theo. You do all that.
For real, shoot.
It reminds me of like when I worked at Forever 21 for 3 days and then I quit. And then they were like, he only lasted for 3 days. I was like, I got smart after 2 days. I'm not hating on Forever 21, but it was like a lot. Like I had to go back to Forever 21 require a lot.
I beat you with that because I used to work at Kmart for 4 hours. You guys remember Kmart? 4 hours. I worked at Kmart once for 4 hours. I said, I'm not doing this. I'm leaving. My mom laughed at me. She's like, what is wrong? Yep.
That is so...
4 hours.
I wanted to work there, but I would get in trouble because me quedaba enfrente and I would talk to all the people and I'd be like, oh my God, yes, you have a wedding to go to? Come on, let's go figure out what you're going to wear. And they were like, you can't do that. You just started. You're a greeter. That is your job. And I was like, but I want to help everybody. Yes. So I would leave my post as the greeter. And then they were like annoyed with me. They're like, you gotta be in the back and take out the trash. And I was like, I'm out. Like, I'm not doing
bye.
that. Yeah.
I'm trying to make this place better instead.
Yeah. And that's taking back your power and breaking generational curses.
Yes.
It's also giving like, and letting you go. I'm loving myself. Like JoJo. Like,
I'm gonna listen to that song right now.
Yeah. JoJo. We love you, JoJo. Not Siwa. Not JoJo Siwa.
Yeah,
JoJo.
the OG JoJo. But like, so then you're there and you kind of make this big decision to move on and take that big step, which is hard. You know, it's hard to do it on your own, but you are doing it in the public eye. And you're taking time to kind of like find yourself now and figure things out. And you see these beautiful shaped eyes looking at you. Eyeballs.
Balls.
That's the social media clip right there. Balls. Good balls.
Take a shot every time we say balls.
Oh yeah. Good drinking game. So you see these beautiful hazel eyeballs and you have this feeling. And a lot of people talk about how when you meet the one that's going to be for you, you feel the uts. You feel like a little bit of that energy. Like,
they say when you know, you know.
Yeah,
what is it that you know?
Yeah.
It felt familiar. I can't even explain it. I can't express it. Like, I just remember we looked at each other in my living room and he said that I came out of like I was getting ready in my glam room. Like this just like, like
Love
moving.
it.
And I felt like, oh, it's that guy. And it just it felt so comfortable. Like I just felt immediate peace and just calmness. And I said, oh my God, I like this feeling, to the point where I wanted to we spent the next freaking 4 or 5 days together every day.
Wow.
Like it was like we were just together and it was like, hey, you're out of work. Come on,
Becky's
over.
Like, can we go home now, guys?
Yeah, I know.
We came for one photo shoot and it's been 4 days now.
For real. Yeah. And it just felt, I can't even explain it. It just felt different from everything else. But I had prayed for that. I had prayed for that feeling. I'm like, I cannot wait to fall out of love from this person. And I want the next person to be the person, God, please. Like, I just want the next person to be the person, please. Like, and show me what I need to do. And it was tough. The first year was tough. It was me. I had a lot of things I had to work on and I didn't realize it.
Speaking of things to work on, we have, you know, the term ick, when you get the ick.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like when you get like turned off by somebody, but it could be the smallest little thing. Sometimes, not me, but maybe him.
I'm a Virgo. Everything
he's Virgo.
Out.
Everything. We want to know.
And I'm also diagnosed with OCD, by the way.
Right. And ADHD. And we want to know like if our icks are valid or if his icks are valid or not.
All right.
Okay, so we have a list.
Okay.
Or are we just immature? Number one, you said posture on a first date. Can you set up that for me?
I just like, I think that it's sexy when you see a man with good posture. And if he has bad posture, I'm like, I'm out.
I agree.
Thank you.
Okay,
I agree.
Valid.
It's like, well, you're bored. You don't want to be here. Like, come on, sit up straight.
Yeah,
Show me. Look
exactly.
at me. Yes.
Right.
You know, problematic Tyra Banks once said, put your shoulders up to your ears, pull them
Back to the
bring
wall
them
and
down.
drop them down.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's
Titties up in the air.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's how I want to see titties and dimples.
Titties
Yes.
and dimples.
The second one, and these are my real icks why I didn't call some people back.
On the first date.
An ugly laugh.
An ugly laugh. I like ugly laughs.
I have an ugly laugh.
So immature.
Immature.
I think it's cute. I think I like things that are different, so unique. So I don't mind it.
Yes, I think an ugly laugh is kind of cute.
It's entertaining.
I mean, like, what can you demonstrate what an ugly laugh would be?
I have a really loud laugh. My mouth gets really big. You'll hear me laugh. I'm probably the person you'll hear laughing at a restaurant, but I like it because it's me, and I think it's cute because it's me. But if I see somebody else do it, I'm like, just calm down. Like,
so it's a projection.
it is a projection, which is what some Virgos do too.
I have a crazy ass laugh too, but yeah.
I mean, and then the other one is like bad breath, bad hygiene.
I can't with that. I'm sorry.
I once saw somebody have a little bit of like tartar like on their teeth, and I was like, I can't do it. I can't see with the tartar.
I can't. I cannot. I'm sorry. I'm all about hygiene, healthy BO, and it's just you're gonna kiss me, and I feel like I want to attract what. You know what I mean?
That's
like I want to take care of myself, so you take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
Yes. So you probably have some Virgo in your chart.
I know.
I probably do.
Yeah.
No, I think I have. I don't know like Cancer. I don't know if it's a rising. It's Libra and then Scorpio.
Ooh.
One of those. I have to figure out where.
That's hot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you have
It's
Virgo.
hot.
Yeah, you have like double water and air, right?
Double water, air.
You're like steam.
Ooh.
You're steamy.
I'm usually pretty steamy.
I think that so then I feel like a lot of people go, whenever I tell people about my ex, they're like, pues tú no lo quieres. You don't like him that much then. Because when you do like them, you're like, I don't care if you have plaque on your teeth, baby. Get in here.
Yeah, I don't know about plaque, y'all. I mean, or maybe if you really like him, be like, hey, let's go to the dentist. Like, let's look.
Yeah,
if you want to
I can't do that.
second date
That's where I'm
dentist.
remember how it's like, what does it bring out in me? I'm like, now I'm making your appointments for dental hygiene. I can't.
But I think sometimes if you feel that everything else is good, maybe you should build up the courage to say, hey, dude, I'm feeling you, but this really bugs me. Because I did that in my relationship. There's certain things before, when I was younger, I was like, I want a taller guy and this and that. And all that shit went out the window. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know. I want a taller guy. I'm like, maybe they can just get knee surgery or something.
Yeah, just get knee surgery.
You get knee surgery.
Man,
just extend your legs or something. Get platform shoes, right?
Yeah.
So now you're like what? Now I don't know how tall your current husband is.
He says he's 5'7". I think he's 5'7",
nice.
5'7", 5'6".
That's a good height.
I'm 5'2". I'm a shorty.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
fun
so everyone's
size, so
tall for
I don't
you.
mind. I'm but before it was 5'11", y no sé qué
Right.
tanto. I'm now I'm okay. I mean, there's not a lot of things that bother me about him, to be honest.
See, that's how you know that you like them. Suppose that's what they say.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, I don't know, I'll leave people who are too messy. If they if they don't clean up after themselves. I'm like, I always picture. Because I also come from a family of hoarders, right? And I'm like, I don't want to grow into being a hoarder. So if I'm if you're not picking up your shoes and your underwear and throwing your trash away right now.
And that's just a lot of dudes, though, because he can be like that, desordenado a little bit. And I have to tell him, I'm not, I'll pick him up once in a while because I want the house to, but you have to, I'll tell him, babe, your shoes. And the good thing is he's intentional. Anything that I tell him that bothers me and vice versa, we try to fix for each other because you just want the relationship to work. I think you get to that point where it's maturity where okay, I want this relationship to work. We have to compromise.
I was going to say
I'm going to do my part.
How do you resolve conflict?
We have very good communication. Sometimes not the best, especially the first year, more than anything. I was quick to just put my guards up and be like, F this, I was a runner. He wasn't, which kind of helped out. But now we communicate about everything. There's something that bothers us. And we can be in the same room like this and he'll text me, you know what, this really bothered me, what you said, and there's other people.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm just take a deep breath. I'm like, well, I understand. This also
your
bothered
feelings
me.
are valid.
Your feelings,
love that.
Your feelings are valid. Because it's who am I to tell him that his feelings aren't? It's even though I'm dude, I think you took it the wrong way. You don't know. I just take deep breaths now.
Yeah.
And now I'm okay, can we go into the other room and talk? And we do that.
I love that. I'm the type to be in bed with you and be getting ready to sleep, and they'd be like, I just think it's funny that, and come out of my blanket.
Yeah, no, I'm the person who they're like, are you mad? I'm like, I'm good. I'm fine.
You do that.
No, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm good. And then later you'll get a long text of earlier today, and I just want to say, start this. We always say because Curly and I will have some fights sometimes. We've been best friends for a long time. We started as work besties first, and then later on just IRL besties, and it's a different transition too. And we come from different generations.
We do, yes. I'm a cool millennial.
I'm a millennial too, yeah. But and so we had to learn how to kind of handle conflict, and I think the most important thing for me was we are having two completely different experiences because we have lived different lives. So you're watching a different movie than I am. That's what like I always say. And so I can't expect you to fully understand my brain.
Right.
I have to like communicate like, well, this is why it triggered me or it activated me. And I hope that you would do the same for me.
It's all in how we deliver our message.
How we deliver it,
It's absolutely that. And I think knowing that cada cabeza es un mundo. And I think for me too is knowing people, their love language. Knowing their love language has helped me quite a bit. But yeah, I mean,
your love language?
Words of affirmation for me. And I words of affirmation.
Me too.
A little reassurance. Okay.
Just tell me every day I'm pretty.
Tell me I'm hot.
Tell me why you like me and like what about me you like me today in this hour.
Exactly. I was like, you didn't tell me I'm pretty today.
Yeah.
Yes, I can buy myself my own shit. I don't need you to do anything. I can do my own stuff. I'm an independent person. But tell me I'm sexy.
Tell me that I was
Tell me
funny
I
or
look
that
good.
I was really funny today and you laughed at all my jokes.
Yeah.
You know, you have to laugh at all my jokes.
Yeah.
If not, you don't like me.
Yeah, or you don't like me as much as you say you do.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes.
You did? I mean, I kind of my little chismosa ears went when you were like that. You said that you were like had things to work on yourself. Like, if you feel so inclined, I feel like that's something that a lot of people, even I have trouble understanding. We all have trouble understanding what are the things that we can work on ourselves because we're so quick to be like, no, but you did this and you did this and this is how you hurt me. Like, what's like one thing that you feel like you really had to go, I didn't know I did that, and I'm working on that, and now I can be better.
I would take things very personal. You know, like he was telling me something straight up, and not in a mean way, but I feel like you're being mean, or you don't think that I just felt always very like offended. And I realized I'm like, I caused these things, these stories in my head that I'm like, why? And it's all insecurity. It just came into being like, I'm insecure of either looking dumb to you or I don't know. It was that. And then I had a lot of abandonment issues. Like I'm like, I'm going to let you go before you let me go because you're not going to hurt me. And it's like, I'm always on defense mode. That's freaking exhausting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I'm just going to let everything. After I did that, I felt so much better. But it was just really, we all have insecurities. And it was just me saying, okay, what are my insecurities? And I'm going to work on them because, again, I don't want to keep going through this vicious cycle and these generational curses. Because I'm intentionally working on them, every day. It's an everyday thing. It's something that I have to like quiet down every day.
And you can feel your lineage healing when you kind of break away from those like toxic habits that you have of like not taking things so personal. I'm still working on that because I'm like, what did you mean by that?
Yeah.
Like my head will snap like, what?
And it's only with him though. With everyone else, I'm not like that. It's just in a relationship. I get very like
because they're so intimate and they see literally everything, and you're showing up so vulnerable and hoping that
you're ugly, you're pretty.
And you're hoping that they will accept you and
exactly like this is who I am. Like
this is my love.
Yeah,
take
here
care.
it
This is my
is.
heart. Take care of it.
And I think it's also just like we do as a society put a lot of expectations on our partner. I think they always say that with best friends, you're like, I have the homie I party with, I have the homie I can go to a museum with, I have the homie I call to cry with.
True.
But with relationships, they have to be all of those, right? And we don't allow them to be like, oh, it's okay if I don't want to like cry with you. Like I cry better with my gay friend.
Yeah.
Like your mom the other day, we went to like a shop and she's like, oh, it's so fun hanging with you. Not like my husband. Like, cause we went to like look at smell candles and get a bracelet. And I was like, well, I'm gay. Like it's going to be totally, you're going to have a
My
whole
dad's like, let's go. I don't want to buy anything.
Like, that's a good thing your husband doesn't want to walk around and get bracelets and like friendship bracelets and smell candles.
Yeah, we all got permanent bracelets.
That is so cute. I want one. I want to get one.
So cute.
They're so adorable.
Welcome to the Zodiac section of the podcast. Chiquis, you are a Cancer, a June Cancer.
Yes.
Happy belated birthday.
Thanks.
How do you feel about being a Cancer? Like, what is it? How do you feel like you kind of like gel with it?
I love it. I love being a June Cancer, not a July Cancer, because they're very different.
It is
extremely different.
See, you know.
Yes, I know a little something. I really like it. I love that I'm very nurturing. I'm very like, I'm very intuitive, What I don't really like about it is that I'm very lunática. Like, I could be completely fine, and then if the freaking moon is, I don't know, more to the left or whatever, it changed. I'm very like that. That's why I have to meditate every day. Because if I don't meditate, I could be a very unhealthy Cancer.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Yes.
I always make jokes that Cancers don't know how to fight on topic. Like 3 of my ex-boyfriends were all Cancers, which amazing. I learned how to love. I learned how to be a better boyfriend because of them.
Yeah.
Like, y'all are healers.
Men Cancer are very different. I dated one. Ooh, crazy.
Yeah.
We almost killed each other.
I'm just like, I feel like for me, I always say that Virgos, when I fight, like my words are very precise. So I fight with like a surgeon's knife. And I'm like, Cancers fight with like the dullest butter knife that they found in the back. Like they just hurt. And you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, Cancer. So in astrology, you have your sun sign, which is your foundation.
Yes.
Your moon sign kind of represents emotions. Rising sign is kind of like who you are when you first appeal to people at first.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's kind of like, it's an important part of your like chart too, because it's like where everything was kind of like rising when you were first born. And then you have like your Mars, which is conflict. My Mars is in Cancer. So when I get upset, it's because and how I get upset is very Cancerian, which is like exactly how you describe it. If I don't breathe, if I don't take time to like, it feels like you're bubbling up.
Yep.
Like it feels like
Literally.
you're like, okay. And then it just spills out and you're like, oh, I'm sorry. Like I didn't mean to say that. Or did I mean to say that? Because I'm also Aries as well. So what are some, like you mentioned a little bit of like some toxic traits. Like what are some toxic traits or misconceptions that like people kind of talk about Cancers?
Damn. Because they say we're emotional or
passive aggressive.
Yeah.
People say
passive. I used to be very passive aggressive.
Cancer. My grandma's a Cancer.
Very.
Like how? Give me an example. How is Chiquis passive aggressive?
Dude,
aggressive.
I had like a best friend back in the days for like 10 years and everything. We used to call each other sisters, and she'd be like, one day she was like, "You're just so passive aggressive." And I was like, "What does that even mean?" I Googled it, and I was like, she's right. But I'm not gonna freaking say it. Like it's like I tell you, like I'm like very calm about it, right? Like I used to do this a lot. Like now I'm aware of it. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to be that way. I'm gonna be just direct. Like it's like here, I don't want to be aggressive. I don't want to be passive aggressive. I'm just gonna be straight to the point.
Yeah.
But before I used to be like, oh it's okay. It's fine. It didn't bother me, but I don't know. I can't even think of something, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because passive aggressiveness, when it shows up with Cancers, there's like low vibrational Cancers, like kind of unhealthy. I don't like to say unhealthy because it's all health. It's all good. It's all healthy. But like the low vibrational means like you're just learning how to communicate. Cancers, I feel like they are so watery and they're the crab, right? And their shells are like, they're tough, but they're not that tough, and they're very gooey on the inside.
They're like soft shell crabs.
Yes, yeah.
Which are delicious.
They're
so delicious.
We're
I
delicious.
love crabs, crab legs.
Me too.
But it's just about learning your communication style.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just because, like I said, you just have so much emotion there that you have to kind of like separate it from like what is actually me and my emotions and what is just like outer source stuff.
Exactly. And it took me a long time to become like emotionally intelligent, where it's like, this is what I'm feeling. How am I going to communicate it? Let me sort it out. Let me breathe instead of being impulsive, because that's another thing that Cancers can be very impulsive, especially the July Cancers. And I've learned to just, because I want to grow. Every day I'm like, I want to be better. And I ask myself, I'm like, did I react in a certain way? And I like asking, I'm like, hey, do you think I was wrong with doing that? Like, I have no issue with being vulnerable. And also I try my best not to be impulsive, which is why I got to think through it. And there was something else. Y se me fue la onda completely. I was going to say something else about Cancers. Anyways.
You can also always check in with the GC, the group chat.
Oh, okay.
Of like all the people that you love. And like, I call them the committee. I bring it before the committee. And I'm like, what does the team think? What do we think? Like, did I overreact? Or I have a game show in my head called, Am am I tripping? Tripping. There's lights, there's audience.
Yeah.
And they're like, on today's episode, we have, am I tripping?
It's very helpful. Because I'm like, no. I'm always like, no.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to take it to the committee.
Burn the house down.
Yes. Yeah. I do. But I do that. I sometimes like ask Emilio, I ask people, I'm like, hey, did I overreact? Like, am I being emotional? And because I think now that I'm aware and I want to like intentionally be a better person, like I know that I have to meditate. I know what I have to do to be a healthy Cancer.
Yes, like a high vibrating Cancer.
Where I'm centered, I'm aligned. Because when I don't do that, I'm ready to echar putazos. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
That's sexy.
Yes.
I can see why you're married.
Yep. And you're also like, you're borderline a cusp Cancer, Gemini Cancer, because Cancer or Gemini ends on the 21st and your birthday is the 26th?
26th of June. Yes. June 26th.
Yes. Yeah. So it's like, do you feel a little tiny influence of like Gemini? And that could be why like you get along so well with your husband too.
I hadn't even thought about that, to be honest. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I should because I'm married to one, but I don't know much about Geminis to say that maybe like tell me some stuff and I'll tell you like what are some things besides the ones that we already mentioned.
June Cancers are different from July Cancers because July Cancers, like I'm a March Aries. I'm not like an April Aries. So I'm closer to Pisces than I am. So I'm a little less like fiery and more hot tub. You know, versus like I know July Cancers are like
very fiery and
very like, ooh, you know, so there's a balance. And I like always mentioning that like even though people say the cusps don't exist, they do exist because you feel different than like love all Aries. But I'm like, I'm not an April Aries. Don't get it twisted.
That's what I tell people. I'm a Cancer, but I'm not a July Cancer. I tell people that all the time.
I love Cancer.
I love Cancer. I love all Cancers.
Okay, we're the best.
I just want to break your heart.
We're very passionate. We're very passionate.
We were kind of dragging Cancers this season just because.
I wasn't. I dragged Tauruses this season.
This season. Well, off and on. What signs do you get along with or do you like the most or do you gravitate towards?
Libras and Taurus.
Oh, wow.
Right now you said Taurus. Yeah, I have a lot of Taurus around me and Libras. Like I love Libras. I don't know. Like I just feel like they're balanced. They're just like level-headed. They're very straightforward. Kim, look at her, my assistant over there. She's
that
a
makes
Libra.
sense that you're an assistant to her too.
I always say they're so sweet.
I love them.
They are.
Last episode I was saying they need to like up the toxicity. They're just so nice.
She's so chill. Dude, I think I love Aquarius. I love Capricorns. We get along very well. I think Pisces worry me a little bit.
They're fickle. They're fickle.
And for sure July Cancer be like, bitch, we can't. If you're,
oh my god, that is so funny.
Sorry, can I say bitch on here? So sorry.
You can say
okay,
bitch.
cool.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, that is so funny though. Just imagining being at your interview and just lying and being like, I'm not.
Like, which signs do you like?
It says here in a birth certificate. I mean, in your resume that you are July Cancer.
Be like, ooh, no, no, because it'd be too hard.
I mean, Libras are great. Tauruses are a little wild, but.
I just have a lot of them around me, which is like I know how to deal with them, but I'm actually having a little issue with the Taurus right now.
I mean,
it's a lot.
It's a lot. We all? My mom's a Taurus, my sister's a Taurus, my BFS is a Taurus, my ex is a Taurus. It's just I'm always
super stubborn, right?
They're so stubborn and not in the way that you think, like not in the way of like
an Aries.
Regular, like the regular stubbornness. They're just stubborn and like, hey, it's okay to say you're wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's okay.
Oh my God. Just fucking. Sorry.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah. It's not the end of the world. Just take a little bit of accountability. It's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yes.
You know what?
Yeah.
Hey, instead of lying about you being late, just I woke up late.
Yeah.
Own it. Yes.
That's it.
And that's it. And it's
and we're happy.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like Virgo would be like, it's not that I'm late. You just chose a really bad time. So that's my toxic trait.
I'd be like, was I late or were you just early?
Yeah. What's the?
I would like gaslight.
That's my toxic trait. Being late. Dude, me too. Same. Damn it. Yeah.
And that concludes our zodiac section.
That was fun.
Well, we usually say we always say like, how do you plead? Like, what would be like your overall message, like learning of today? Like, how do you plead?
Just in general?
Yeah, it could be like, do you want us to go first or?
Well, I want to know, we wrote down like, what is your interpretation or definition of love? Like true love.
Wow, true love.
With your experience now being married.
Yeah, what is love?
Well, love is the moving force of the universe, first of all. And I've learned to embrace it in every way. But love to me is, and it's going to sound so cliche, but it definitely is unconditional. And I mean this because it's not about finding the perfect person. It's about finding the perfect person for you. Someone that is willing to make the changes necessary, because I at first thought that it wasn't going to work with him and I, but he is on the path of wanting to be his best self and matching that. And I think that's what love is all about. It's really finding that like compromise and being willing to just let your guard down. And it took me a long time. Now I'm like, okay, I have to sometimes remind myself, hey, chill. You're in a safe place. Love is safe. Love feels just like a breath of fresh air. Like you don't feel like we were talking about anxious. It just feels safe. It feels just, and not easy, because no relationship is easy. Marriage is not easy, but it should not be like you're trying to break through a freaking wall. You know, it should be okay. I'm here and you go around it versus I'm trying to break through. You know what I mean? Like it's, I don't know. It just feels safe. It feels at peace, guys. Like, I don't know.
Love is safe.
Love is
not
safe.
Not without difficulties, but safe.
It's safe.
I love that.
It is safe. And you feel okay with being completely like vulnerable with the person, and you're not going to be judged. That was all in my head. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I love that so much.
Yes. And also, do you have anything coming up? Like, what's going on in your world?
Well, oh my goodness. Right now, I'm preparing for the second leg of my tour, which starts in September. So I'm excited.
We're going.
Yeah, we're going.
Please
we're gonna
come.
Go.
Please come. I'm going to have a show out here, I think in December, I believe. Things are changing, but I'm starting it up again. In September, I'm already starting to record the second part of the album. My first album was, Diamantes, the first part. And now we're going to do VVS 1, which is Diamond-esque, you know. And that's it right now. And we're just working on making kids, trying to, you know, figure that out.
In time.
Wow. We love that.
Yes. And yeah, I'm excited for all of that stuff too. I'm excited for the baptism, and I'll be there.
Yes, we'll be there at the baptism.
Please, the baby shower, the gender reveal, the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, I'll just hang out and wherever you have the snacks and stuff like that.
I do have a question.
Yes.
And I don't know if people have asked you guys this before, but is it called the Super Bestie Club because of the Babysitters Club or no?
It's a play on all that
it's
stuff.
It's a play on that.
Babysitters
Club,
Club,
but it's like Super Secret Bestie Club.
Yeah, we wanted it to feel like very 90s. Like,
yes, exclusive.
Exactly that.
Like, I love it.
Yes, like
when
we're
you
just
play
chilling.
With the phone, the plastic phones, you call fake boys.
Yes. Okay, yes. Okay, perfect. I was like, I love the Babysitters Club, so it brought me back. Anyways.
Yeah.
Well, we love you so much. I do want to say that we've been in this for so long, and you truly are one of the kindest people in the business. You are just such a beautiful human being. Like, it's crazy how you uplift a lot of people in the community as well. Like, you're not the type of entertainer or creative who is like, me, me, me. You're very like, come with me. And I just want people to know that too, that se nota, you can see that, you can feel it, and we're so thankful that you would be here with us.
Yes, thank
guys,
you for
not
being
me
on.
about to cry.
Yes.
Cancer.
Yes, we knew we were gonna get her to cry.
Damn it!
We were gonna bully it out
thank
of
you
her.
guys. I love this. I want to come back.
Come back.
I think I love the energy. I love like it's beautiful. It's a nice balance. It's just I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for watching and listening to another episode of the Super Secret Bestie Club podcast. Curly, how can they find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram or TikTok at The Curly B Show. Maya, where can people find you?
You can find me at Maya in the Moment, MAYA in the Moment, anywhere where you scroll.
And Chiquis, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram as Chiquis, CHIQUIS, because people do K, not a K, a Q. There you go.
I know somebody was like, how do you spell Chiquis? And we're like, it's...
I got some Chiquis now.
Yeah. We're like, mine, her.
Yeah.
Or you can literally just Google her. Like,
yeah. She's a pop star.
She's a pop star.
Oh, I'm all right, guys. I mean, you know what I'm saying.
I'm going to go try to wake that bee up from earlier.
Oh yeah.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Bye.
Bye.
Make sure to hit that subscribe button to hear more episodes every single week. The Super Secret Bestie Club podcast is a production of Sonoro in partnership with iHeartRadio's My Cultura podcast network.
For more podcasts from iHeart, visit the iHeart Radio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.